vow to be a brahmachari, a celibate. You can take a vow. Some people may take a vow to climb the Tirupati hill by foot. So, and when there's a Kumbh Mela, there are 2 crore or 3 crore people. Now Kumbh Mela is coming now, next year in February. Only humans gather there. You don't find in Kumbh Mela there are 2 crore humans and another 1 crore dogs. You don't see that. Animals don't come there. So, building a temple, bowing down before God, studying the sacred literature like Bhagavad Gita, awakening your knowledge, and awakening love for God and love for all. This is only possible for humans in the human body, when the soul is present in human body. And right now, we all have human bodies and we have to take advantage of that. So in the Upanishads, it is said, Hey Amrita Putraha, they are saying, oh children of immortality, don't waste your human form of life, because human life is very rare. And your human life is very short. It is just 70, 80, 100 years only. And human time and the facilities you have is very precious. Take advantage of it. In only human body, you can debug the impurities in your mind. So, the second session, which we did last time, the one life is not all in all. Many lifetimes exist. In that I was telling you how you are a pure spirit soul, but you are surrounded by mind. And the mind is carrying impurities. Just like you may be a good student, but you are wearing a socks which may be old socks, maybe stinking because it became moist or something. So when we go into a hall or a classroom with a stinking socks, everybody plugs the nose and they say, hey, who is this guy? Who is stinking? Guy is not stinking, his socks is stinking. So he has to just leave the socks outside and then, wash it or whatever, or wear a new one and come. Similarly, in this world, there are wars, there are fights, there are quarrels, there are rapes. All these things are happening. All the rapes are coming from lust. All the wars are coming from anger. All the money scandals are coming from greed. So Lord Krishna says in the Gita, lust, anger and greed are the 3 main impurities in our mind. So lust means to catch any woman's hand, anybody's wife, like Ravana wanted to do that. He was not regulated. He had already a wife called Mandodari. He was not satisfied. He was catching Sita Mata's hand, was destroyed. That is, lust means to catch. Greed means to loot. Duryodhana wanted to loot the property of his brothers Pandavas. In the course of looting and wanting to possess everything himself greedily, he got destroyed. Similarly, anger means to beat. Somebody becomes angry, and like Hiranyakashipu, he wanted to beat up Prahlad. He was very angry because Prahlad was a devotee of Lord Vishnu, and he wanted the whole world to be his own devotee. Hiranyakashipu said, everybody chant, Om Hiranyakashipu Namah, I am the pivot of the world. Everybody should be at my beck and call. Everything should revolve around me. That was his desire. He wanted to be the singular controller of the whole world. And then eventually he was destroyed because of his anger. He was trying to torture and torment his son Prahlad, a small 5-year-old child. And he was destroyed also. So he wanted to beat. So these 3 tendencies, to catch, to loot, and to beat. This lust, anger, and greed. These are impurities in our mind, like bugs in a computer program. So last time I explained to you how the bugs in a computer program, you remove them so that the program will function smoothly. Similarly, all of you, dear friends, you are pure spirit soul. You are surrounded by mind and body. Body you are seeing in the mirror. Mind you cannot see in the mirror, but you know that you have a mind. Because sometimes our mind is depressed, sometimes mind is cheerful. Sometimes the mind likes something, sometimes the mind doesn't like something. Sometimes the mind feels pleasure, sometimes pain. So we know that we have a mind. So the soul has a mind and a body. So the body gets troubles by diseases. Like I get a wound in the knee, I get fever, somebody gets cancer, somebody gets diabetes. Body gets troubles by diseases. And mind gets troubles by pleasure and pain, like pain or dishonor or depression, lamentation, all this fear. So these things cause problems to the mind. So we have diseases in the mind, diseases in the body. Diseases in the mind we call as psychiatric diseases. and disease in the body, we also go to a doctor to cure them. But this body and mind are superimposition on the soul. You are the soul. Body and mind are extraneous to you. You are not them. They are different from you. They are two coverings over you. Hmm? So in this Gita and Four Sutras session, you are learning how you can take charge of this mind and body, which is awarded to you by God, and debug them, purify them in such a manner that you can use them to your advantage, to liberate the spirit from matter and then attain the spiritual plane of perfection. That is actually the goal. So I'm going to show you one verse from the Gita, very interesting verse. After that, we'll proceed to the third sutra now. Please repeat after me this verse. This is 15.8 Bhagavad Gita. Shariram yadavapnoti yachapyutkramati गृहीत्वैतानि संयाति वायुर्गन्धान् इवाशयात्. One of you can read the translation, please? Those from the online, any of you? Yes, any of you would like to read the translation, please? Yeah? I can't hear the sound. Yeah. Yes, Akshay, read it? The living entity in the material world carries the different conceptions of life from one body to another, as the air carries aromas, he says. Vayuhu gandha nivashaya. Thus he takes one kind of body and again quits it to take another. Please, can you read the purport, please? Yeah. Just a minute. Second line, carry him. In the karma. Karshati. Yeah. Yeah. So in this way, we all get transferred from one body to another depending on our conceptions. So one more verse we will read and then we will discuss. Shrotram chakshu sparshanam cha rasanam granam cha adhisthaya manaschayam vishayan upasevate. Please read the translation, please. Yeah. Yeah. Who is going to read translation? One of you? Mhm. Any of you, please? Anybody would like to try? Like, look at my hand. I have this palm, and I have 5 fingers. Like that eyes, nose, ears, tongue and skin, they are all grouped about the mind. Because they supply inputs to the mind. Like that Lord Krishna says. For example, I see something, the experience of seeing certain thing is photographed and put in the mind as a previous experience. Similarly, I heard some song, I liked it, sweet song, and that melody, that is imprinted in my mind as an impression. So everything is put inside the mind. Eyes, nose, ears, tongue, and skin. Like tasted gulab jamun. Wow, I liked very much. I like the sweet taste of gulab jamun. Then it goes to the mind as a previous experience. Then another day somebody says, do you want a gulab jamun? Immediately we recover the old information registered in the mind. Yeah, I like it. I know how tasty it is. Please give me. Then you take it. So in this way, five things he's saying. The living entity taking another gross body obtains certain type of ear, eye, tongue, nose, and sense of touch. They are all grouped about the mind. Yeah. Please read this. In other words, no. The second line. See, second line. But consciousness is changed. Yeah. Second line. He does not. Yeah, correct. So in this way, now you all understood now. Our desires carry us to the next body. What quality of desires we carry with us now in our mind. For those desires, the gross bodies are basically instruments given to us to give shape to those desires. At the same time, you need karma, which is like the price you have to pay. Say, for example, I go to a cloth shop. One day when I was a college boy, I went to a shop and said, I want a pant and shirt. So they took me to one section and then they showed me a very nice pant and shirt. When I was about to buy it, they said it's 5,000 rupees. I said, wow, this is too much. I only have 2,000 with me. They said, you should have told us in the beginning. Okay, come, we will take you to another division. They took me to another section where they gave me a pant and shirt which is only 1,500 rupees. So in the same manner, I may say in the next life I want to be a millionaire. Then my account will be checked. Do I have the punya? Do I have the good credits for that? Then only I can become a millionaire. Like I'll show you one thing, one small picture, just a minute. See, you can see this one. See, some people are handsome, some are not. Similarly, some are strong, some are physically challenged. Some are born to rich parents, some are born in a slum or something. And one becomes a MD doctor or engineer or something. And one becomes a heavyweight lifty coolie. See, this child is born with a silver spoon, having a nice car ride. And some children can never go out of the house. They are poverty stricken. So in this way, everybody, based on their previous actions, they get a body accordingly. Good karma is like a credit in the account and bad karma is like a debit. At the time of death, the soul carries the results of good and bad actions and he reaps them in the next life. So we all have that. Like for example, you choose, definitely all of you, IITians, when you pass out, you'll get many good jobs. You can choose from them. And you may choose your spouse also later on when you're marrying. And then you choose the type of car, what model car you want, or even the apartment, whether you want a 2 BHK or a 3 BHK or what type of house you want. These are all within your hands. You can decide the choice, you have it. But You don't choose your parents. Imagine if any of you was told you choose your parents, you might choose probably, I want to be Anil Ambani or Mukesh Ambani's son, you may say. Huh? But now you have been put in a certain family and you are awarded that. Similarly, you can't choose, you didn't choose your face cut or beauty, or you didn't choose your skin color, huh? Or face cut or beauty. It's awarded to you. And similarly, your IQ also. Different people are born with different IQs depending on your previous punya and pap. Huh? Accordingly, you are given. So, who chooses for us? Is it by chance? An airport door opens, it's not by chance. There is a pre-arrangement of a sensor path which is blocked. Huh? Similarly, when the little girls come from the school, they like to eat sandwich. They like it, but they know very well sandwich doesn't come on its own. Mom has kept it because mom loves us very much. When we come home in the evening, it's she who gives us. Huh? So, similarly, in this world, everything is arranged by the Lord for us. And then according to what type of good karma, bad karma we do, things are provided for us. Yeah. So in the same manner, you will find, I'll show you one slide, I'll show you. This is one thing I want to show you. Yeah, you can see this one. You see, your good thoughts or bad thoughts eventually brings your destiny. Now you all good students, you all have taken your time out to come for this Gita and Four Sutras for 4 weeks. So you had a good thought because you wanted to blossom in your consciousness. So see here, the thought becomes words. Depending on what thought you put in your mind, it becomes words. And then it becomes eventually actions with your hands and legs. And then you form habits. And then it eventually forms your good character or bad character. And then you carve your destiny. So this is how your destiny, what you have attained, good or bad destiny is attained by this sequence of steps. But this begins with your thought. That's the most important thing. Like here you see this man, he is going on the road and he saw a beautiful bungalow and he became attracted. He took his smartphone. He just snapped shot, he took and kept it in his office in front of him. He put it. He wanted to make a house like this. And he was waiting to accumulate money. Then after accumulating money, what he did? He got a civil engineer and made a blueprint. And then eventually, he has made a house now. He saw a house, he developed a desire, he gathered the money, that's like punya, and then with that money he was able to make the house done like that. Similarly, we also, you can see here, see somebody is a lusty rogue, like you heard about Calcutta rape, somebody is raping a doctor, foolish fellows, and then they become a dog in the next life, you see, such lusty fellows. And here is a fellow who is sleeping all day, he becomes a lazy. Look at this polar bear. How it is just dragging on the ground, you can see. Isn't it how lazy this fellow is? And then an envious person becomes a snake here, you see. Somebody is exposing body, they become a tree with no dress. Somebody want to eat flesh and drink blood. They are preparing a body of lion or tiger, such kind of people. So we all are actually preparing our future body right now. This is a divine and demoniac, you can see here. Hiranyakashipu is demoniac and Prahlad is divine. So every one of you students, you have a choice in your life. You want to become demoniac or divine, you have to carve your destiny. You see, this fellow, by eating flesh and drinking blood, he is preparing the consciousness of a tiger, even though he is right now in a human body. This is such a scientific mechanism, you see. That means you have a subtle body now, which is mind. I told you that you are covered by body and mind. So in your mind, you are developing this consciousness, like you are seeing the man developing a tiger's consciousness here. So in this way, here you can see this, two people have two different consciousness. See here, Arjuna is thinking, Lord is my friend, he is Parabrahman, my victory is only his company. I want Krishna, not his energies. He is happy with Krishna's friendship and guidance in the battle. Whereas Duryodhana, you see what he is thinking. Foolish Arjuna chose Krishna. And Krishna is anyway not going to fight. I will take 10,000 Narayana Sena. And I am really smart. And considering my power and Pandava's powers, I will vanquish the Pandavas and usurp their kingdom. So this is his thought. So everybody has a thought, pure thought or impure thought like this. And our thoughts take us to the next body. Huh? Yeah. So any success you get, it comes from, okay. So in this way, we all are preparing our future. Huh? It is up to us what we want to do with our life, how we want to mold our life. It's in our hands only. Mm. And if somebody misuses the body, then can go down to lower body. Like you see this one. Here is a dog. This dog is from Lucknow. Huh? You can see this dog.
All say one, one, 3, 5, 7, 9, and last number is 10. You, you're a good boy. Give me answer. Pick 1 plus 1, 3 plus 2, 5 plus 1, 7 plus 1. Now, give me answer. 5 minus 2, 5 minus 1, 5 minus 4, 6 minus 3, 7 minus 4, 8 minus 4, 10 minus 3. Very good. Good.
So what do you think about this dog? Any of you? You want to comment? This is a simple dog. Huh? See, he's doing plus, he's doing minus also. Huh? You know, if Americans see this, they'll be amazed. But in America, there are dog schools where they cannot teach a dog to say even 1 plus 1 also. They can't say. They only teach the dogs to cooperate with the master and not give trouble to their master. That's all. Huh? But here, you see, here is a dog in the streets of Lucknow, and he is making mathematics calculation, 1 plus also, minus also. What do you think about this? Yes? Any of you? Yeah? Anybody was trying to answer my question? Anybody? Yeah.
I think dog is serious one. We somehow see there was lost in him, right? But he was he was somehow some good karma. He did something and he did something. He felt conscious that he somehow remained in the next one.
Uh-huh.
But his has stuck now.
Very good, very good, Pratyush, very good. Brilliant. So the dog might have been some tuition teacher or something, maybe mathematics teacher, and he did some blunder, maybe with some woman or something, and then therefore he ended up becoming a dog. But then the dog's body, still the mind with the mathematical impressions is carried to the next body. Huh? He's carrying that forward and then he is recollecting. Very good, brilliant. I'll show you another slide here. You all can see this. I can see this child.
Namamishwaram Sachidananda.
Yeah, you can ask, yeah.
Saying of the ये मतलब कोई जैसे हर इंसान के प्रकृतियां
Correct,
हर इंसान के अंदर और अच्छाई की गुण रहते हैं।
correct,
तो हमारे अंदर जो बुराई है हम चाहते हैं उसके ऊपर जीत नहीं कर सकते लेकिन वो हमारे ऊपर हावी होती है।
correct, correct.
क्या कर क्योंकि अपन करते हैं और कि हमारे विश्व कॉन्शियस हो के मतलब नहीं है। तो
Correct.
मैं क्या करें क्योंकि वो गुण हमेशा हमारे से होता है,
करेक्ट
क्योंकि नहीं होंगे कि कृष्ण पास नहीं है।
करेक्ट करेक्ट। इसलिए हमें क्या करना चाहिए, सर्वप्रथम हम एक संघ में आना चाहिए। जैसे अभी नाउ यू ऑल हैव कम टू दिस प्रोग्राम, लास्ट 3 classes you are attending, but when you come in this sangha you are learning many good things now, that's a step number 1. Step number 2, in that sangha you ask questions like you are asking now, get clarifications, read the Bhagavad Gita as it is, regularly, 1 page a day, and chant the holy name, like we have Nam Jap, which cleanses the mind of the impurities. By A, B, C, 3 things you can remember. A for association, B for Bhagavad Gita, C for chanting. A for association, once in a week you hear 1 hour class like this. Keep building your knowledge base of wisdom of the Gita. Keep building it up. Just 1 hour every day, every week you take it. And then every day 1 page a day of Bhagavad Gita as it is. 5 minutes you can read. And C for chanting, 1 round of Hare Krishna mantra chanting 108 times. It takes you just about 8 minutes or so, 8 to 10 minutes max. That means 10 minutes chanting, 1 page Bhagavad Gita, just 15 minutes out of 24 hours. You give for God. And once in a week come for a program. This ABC program you do, and I can tell you within 3 to 6 months, you will see that, the chanting of Hare Krishna cleanses your mind of the impurities. And studying of the Bhagavad Gita strengthens your intelligence. It helps the intelligence to become strong enough to control the fickle mind and impure senses. And in this way, you will find that this simple practice I am suggesting you, you will be able to control the lower nature, what you are saying. And then your higher nature will become increased more and more. The angel within you will come out, and the animal within you will be driven out. And then you will develop more strength and confidence, and always you will make positive choices in life. So does it answer your question, Pratyush?
And my second question.
Yeah. Yeah.
So one question also.
Mm-hmm.
जो हमारा जैसे हम जब किसी भी चीज के बारे में मतलब बेसिस तो ऐसा होता है कि जो भावना हमारे सामने सीधे कम करने के लिए कि हमें ये नहीं पता चलता ईश्वर की मर्जी हमारे लिए क्या उस जगह पे हम अपना निर्णय कैसे
हाँ, ऐसे ही अर्जुन को भी एक तरह की परिस्थिति थी। नहीं चाहे तद्विद्म कतरन्नो गरियो यद्वाजयेम यदि वानु जयेयु याने वहत् पार्थ जिजीविषामस्ते वस्थिता प्रमुखे दार्तराष्ट्राः यदि माम प्रतीकारम् अशस्त्रं शस्त्रपाणयः दार्तराष्ट्रान् रणे हन्युस्तन्मे क्षेमतरं भवेत्. Arjun is telling, my dear Lord Krishna, should I fight or should I refrain from fighting? Should I win or should I lose? Should I kill the enemies and establish dharma, or should I be killed by the enemies because they are all my relatives? So I do not know what is right and what is wrong. I am confused about my duty, Arjuna said. And then he bowed down to Krishna and said, please accept me as your disciple. You are my guru. Enlighten me. And then Krishna spoke the Bhagavad Gita. At the end of Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna became fully confident. His indecision was finished. He could clearly decide, yes, fighting this battle and establishing dharma is my duty. He became very clear. Similarly, you were asking that sometimes we don't know which decision is correct decision. We should go left or right. Should I do this or that? Which is beneficial, which is harmful, which is short-term benefit, long-term benefit. So whenever you have such issues, one of the things that I would do in my life is to ask my mentor, someone more experienced than me, someone senior to me, somebody who can be my guide. I will ask her. So here, one Harshit is actually the WhatsApp admin here, who is coordinating this meeting. But we also have groups of students in different IITs who are practicing under the guidance of their respective mentors locally. If you are from which IIT, Pratyush? At Bombay, you already have someone guiding you there? Okay. So you can ask him, and he will also have his mentor, senior. So they are the people who can easily help you with, in case you want to make a decision, you want to know whether it's right or wrong. then if they are experienced, they will either tell you the answer or they will guide you to someone who is experienced in the same field as you. And in this way, it's not very difficult for us. We have to take superior association and then some peer association and then self-understanding. All the three put together, we can decide. Is it helpful? Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So now I showed you the soul who occupied a dog's body. Now I'll show you another beautiful soul. Here, look at this child. This child is only 4 months old. But amazingly, generally children who are up to 2 or 2.5 years, they only speak. But this child, you will see, although it is only 4 months old, the mother is telling one Krishna song, and the child is able to recollect the last word. You will see that. I'll just show you how the child responds. You can see.
नमामीश्वरं सच्चिदानंद बता नमामीश्वरं सच्चिदानंद रूपम लसत्कुंडलं गोकुले भ्राज मानम यशोदाभियोलुखलाब्दा वमानम परमृष्टमत्यन्ततोद्रुते गोप्या रुदन्तमोहुर्नेत्रयुग्मं भजन्तं करम्भोजयुग्मेन शातङ्क नेत्रम् मुहुश्वासकम्पात्रिरेखाङ्क कण्ठं स्थितग्रैव दामोदरं भक्ति बद्धम् इति दृक्स्वलीलाभिरानन्द कुण्डे स्वघोषं निमज्जन्तमाख्या पयन्तं तदीयेषु तग्नेषु भक्तैर्जितत्वं जितत्वम होता है, जित्यम नहीं होता है.
So you saw this child? So this child is living in Kanpur. I met the mother, father and this child, such a small child, but he is able to, recite the last word because, some children have got very good sanskaras from the Purva Janma. The next life, they carry the shlokas in their mind, good impressions in their mind. So the mind is a vehicle for carrying the good karma vasanas and bad karma vasanas, and then you get a body in a family accordingly. So Lord Krishna says in the Gita that, my dear Arjun, if somebody practiced the Krishna consciousness by doing this ABC, which I told you, association, reading Bhagavad Gita, chanting, if you do activities like this, even if you didn't complete your, perfect your life, say you had 100 bugs, you only cleared 40 bugs. Then next life you will be given one more chance to start from 41st bug and clear, say another from 40 to 70 you cleared. Then third life you can clear from 71st bug. When all the 100 bugs are cleared, you go from material plane to spiritual plane. You go back home, back to Godhead. So the material world is not our home. It's an alien yoke. Because in this world, you see, we are suffering also with the body, with the mind. There are wars. There are also quarrels. There are people who are envious and greedy and revengeful. So we are not very happy in this world. Always, when you are studying IIT, then there's a lot of tension whether I will get or not. But after getting into IIT, there's a lot of competition, how I can actually be at the top 9 point or 9.5, something like that. And then after you complete the 4 years, then there's a lot of anxiety whether I'll get placed in a good job, as per my expectation. But after you get a job, there's a lot of anxiety, how I can grow higher and higher in my corporate ladder. There also there's a rat race competition. And there is also a stressful life. Sometimes you work 16 hours a day. There's a lot of stress. So in this way, you will find in this world, at any point of time, there is always some tension and stress in this world. So this world is called Kuntha. Kuntha means world of suffering. But there's another plane, spiritual plane called as Vaikuntha, which means the place of no suffering there. With God in the center and all the living beings are all supremely pure. They don't have the mind and body. There the soul itself is the body, which is made of only one substance, Satchidananda we call it. It's a spiritual body. And the spiritual body, as I told you before, you cannot cut it with a scissor. You cannot burn it with fire. Even the spiritual body comes from 100 miles high mountain. Down it falls. It will not get damaged. because the spiritual body does not have bones or veins or, intestines and all those things. The whole body is a spiritual substance. In fact, one time Narada, carrying the Veena, he was traveling across the globe. He went to Lanka. He came across Ravan, and Ravan said, "Hey Narada, teach me this Raja Vidya. I heard that you have some special knowledge by which one gets a body which is tenacious body." And Ravana said, "You see, if you want knowledge from a guru, you have to be humble and submissive. If you are proud and arrogant, you can't get the knowledge." Ravana said, "What? I have never bowed my head to anybody. If you won't give me knowledge, wait and watch what I do." He just removed his sword and cut across Narada's body. And the sword went through Narada's body. Guess what? Nothing happened to Narada's body. Narada was just smiling, playing on his veena. And Ravana asked, "How is it that you are not feeling any pain and the sword did not cut your body?" Narada laughed and said, "Don't you know, my dear king? This is because of the Rajavidya, king of all knowledge, which is Bhakti Yoga that I am practicing. Now I have got a spiritual body now. I don't have a mind and body with me. My body is a spiritual body. You cannot cut the spiritual body with your sword." Then Ravana understood, oh, this person has perfected his life. He has got a Siddha Deha now. So Siddha Deha means perfected body, spiritual body. This is the type of body everybody has in spiritual world. Even you and I, all of us have such bodies. It's a very happy body because there is neither diseases in that body, nor depression in that body. The body is a cheerful body, blissful body. And like God is always happy and cheerful. Today, tomorrow, we are celebrating Krishna Jayanti. Krishna Gokulashtami we are celebrating. When Krishna appeared in the world, when he was dancing on the hoods of Kaliya, he was smiling. He had no fear at all. I'll just show you a small, because you might have heard about it. In Vrindavan, when Krishna danced on Kaliya, how he danced, you can see yourself.
Jam tam tami tadajjam tagadajjam tagadikadajjam tam madabhujanga shirapada yugapani dhruta madurinada veduravatami tadajjam tagadajjam tagadikadajjam tam gopangana kulavrita madhava madhusudana hari sammadana padanatana tagatagana natajana parivrita sadaya muda hridaya tami tadajjam tagadajjam tagadikadajjam ta nirantarananda mukha ಕಮಲ ಅನಂತ ನಟನಾಂಗ ಪದಯುಗಲ ನಿರಂತರಾನಂದ ಮುಖ ಕಮಲ ಅನಂತ ನಟನಾಂಗ ಪದಯುಗಲ ಮಧುಮುರಳೀಧರ ಹರಿ ಲಹರಿ ಮರೀಚಿ ಸಂಗೀತ ಮನೋರಮಣ ಮಧುಮುರಳೀಧರ ಹರಿ ಲಹರಿ ಮರೀಚಿ ಸಂಗೀತ ಮನೋರಮಣ ವ್ರಜ ದುರಂದರ ಜಲದ ಶೋಭಮಾನಧರ ಚಿಕುರ ಮುಕುಲ ಮಕುಟ ನೀಲ ಶಿಖಂಡಕ ಮೋಹನಾಂಗ ಕಳಿಂಗ ನಟನ ತಾಮಿತ ದಜ್ಜಂ ತಗದಜ್ಜಂ ತಗದಿಗತಜ್ಜಂ ತಾಂ ನೀಲ ಮನೋಹರ ಜಾಲ ವಿಭೂಷಣ ನಿರತ ಚಲಂಚಲ ಭುಜಂಗ ನರ್ತನ
ನೀರಜ ದಳಾತ ಅಧಿಕ ಮೃದುಳ ಪದ ನಿಕಟ ತರಂಗೋ ತುಂಗ ತಾಡಂಗ ನೃತ್ತಕ ನೃತ್ತಕ ತಾಂ ತಕತೈ
ತಕ ತದಿನಿದಿಯ ತಕ ತಾಕಿಟ ನಗ ಜಗ ದೃಗ ಜಗನಂದ ತಕ ನಕ ನಕ ಜಗ ದೃಗ ಜಗನಂದಂ
ಯಮುನಾ ತಟಾಕ ತುಂಗ ತರಂಗಂ ಹಿಮಕರ ಸ್ಥಿಮಿತ ರಮಿತ ಶುಭಾಂಗಂ ಇತಸ್ತತಶ್ಚರ ಕರುಣಾಪಾಂಗಂ ಯದಿವರ ಹೃದಯ ಸರೋರುಹ ಭೃಂಗಂ
ದಿನತ ತಿಲ್ಲಾನ ದಿನತ ತಿಲ್ಲಾನ ದಿನತ ತಿಲ್ಲಾನ ಧೃಗುತ ಕಿಟ ತಿಲ್ಲಾನ
ತಿಲಕ ಸಿಂಧೂರ ಹಲಕ ಶೃಂಗಾರ ವದನ ಗಂಭೀರ ಉರಗಫಣ ಸಂಚಾರ ನಂದ ಸುಕುಮಾರ ನವನೀತ ದೀನ್ ತದಾಂ
ತತ್ತಕಜ್ಜಂ ತತ್ತಕಣ್ಣುಂ ತತ್ತಕರ್ರುಂ ತತ್ತಜ್ಜಂ ತತ್ತಕಜ್ಜಂ ತತ್ತಕಣ್ಣಂ ತತ್ತಕರ್ರುಂ
ತಾಕುಜಣಂ ತರಿತ ತಕುಜಣಂ ತರಿತ ಜಣಂ ತರಿತ ದಿಮಿತ ಕಿಟ ಜಣು ತಾಕುಜಣಂ ತರಿತ ತಕುಜಣಂ ತರಿತ ಜಣಂ ತರಿತ ದಿಮಿತ ಕಿಟ ಜಣು
ಅದ್ಭುತ ನರ್ತನ ಚಿತ್ರಿತ ಮುದ್ರಿತ ವಿದ್ಯುತ ಮುದ್ಭವಂ ಅದ್ಭುತಂ ಅದ್ಭುತಂ
ತಾಕುಜಣಂ ತರಿತ ತಕು.
So you saw how this is the meaning of Supreme Lord. He is subduing the snake Kaliya and he's always smiling, even as a 5.5-year-old boy when he was dancing on the Kaliya like this. When he's standing in the Kurukshetra battlefield, surrounded by crores of warriors, he's smiling there. He's always happy. And those who are in his company, they are also happy. Arjuna was lamenting in the beginning, but once he surrendered to Krishna and accepted Bhagavad Gita, he became cheerful. Crying Arjuna became confident Arjuna. Morose Arjuna became bold Arjuna after that. So, in this way, when we go to the spiritual plane is a plane where everybody is non-envious, they are free from the ill effects of the mind there. So Narada told, everyone has a spiritual body like this, but awaken that spiritual body and attain the spiritual body, without the coverings of mind and body and causing us suffering. So for that, one has to practice spiritual life, as I told you, ABC. So now I showed you a dog and I showed you a child. I showed you the dog for the, bad karma vasanas. And I showed you the child for the good, positive karma vasanas. For that I showed you. In this world, there is bad, there is good, and there is divine. Third one. Now, what is the difference between the good and the divine? Good means some people actually abide by the God's laws, but they don't develop a relationship with the Lord. They think that God is a very good order supplier. Go to God and pray for a good results in the examination, or go to God for promotion in job. I am a good person. I go to temple and pray, God, give me this, give me that. So mostly they connect with God like a businessman. Oh God, give me this. I will come and pray to you, and you give me this. That's all. They are not interested in God. They are interested in their own material welfare. That is, good people are like that, mainly 90% of the religious people. But what we are talking here in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, you connect with God and you actually learn to work for Him, like Arjuna, for example. Arjuna actually is a friend of Krishna and a devotee of Krishna, and he is fighting the battle on the order of Krishna. Similarly, if you grow a garden, make flowers and offer it to the Lord, then you are giving it for the pleasure of the Lord. Similarly, you are an expert in computer. You can make a very good poster for the program and you assist in, reaching out the program to people. That's a wonderful service. Everybody can, if you are a good cook, you can cook nice prasad, offer it to Krishna and distribute to devotees. Then Krishna is very pleased. In this way, each of you, you have your talent. Connecting our skill sets and talents to God and offering it as a humble service to Him and the devotees. And that is Bhakti Yoga. In the same manner, you enjoy in this world, but not independent of God. You learn to enjoy in alignment with Him. For example, I want to eat food. I will first check, is it sanctioned, sanctified, regulated? Is it sanctioned food? Is vegetarian food. Sanctified food is that food which is offered to God with love and then accepted. And regulated means eating in moderate proportion, eating on time. Like that. Similarly, somebody has an attraction for the opposite sex. Yes, you are allowed to marry. Then marriage means sanctioned. If husband and wife are practicing Bhagavad Gita, then that's a sanctified marriage. And if they don't spend money extravagantly, but they save the money and regulate their expenditure and then live a simple life with God in the center, then it is regulated. Like that. In the same manner, everything. Like you want to possess a property. If you encroach on others' property, that is adharma. But if you accept a property which you own, then it is sanctioned. And if you make a house and make one altar for the Lord and you every day, you worship Him, then it is sanctified house. In this way, everything can be sanctioned, sanctified and regulated. The devotees of the Lord never do anything independently. They check whether the Lord is pleased. For example, I have to do a job. I will not work for a company which produces liquor. I will not work for a company which kills animals. I will not work for a company, which promotes cigarettes. So I will work on an honorable job in such a way that it will actually be aligned with God. It will not go against the God's laws. In this way, Gita teaches us, you don't have to give up everything. You have to connect everything. In Hindi, we say, कुछ छोड़ना नहीं है, आपको सब जोड़ना. So then when you connect all your activities to God, your life becomes divine. And with that divine life, you will be able to work in this world without getting entangled. So I will tell you one little story in this connection. There was once Jamindar living in a village, and he had a big house with big compound walls. And he had put 2 watchmen at the gate and told them, go for rounds around the house. If anybody writes anything on the wall, bring them to me and we will give them a good beating, he said. Because I want to see the walls neat and clean, he said. So this watchman would go for rounds always. One day, 2 boys came there, 2 friends, and one boy said, I'm going to write on the wall and you will be surprised to see Jamindar will not be angry with me, he said. Other boy said, how is that possible? The boy said, wait and watch what I write. So the boy took a chalk and he wrote on the wall something. And then when the watchman went and reported to the Jamindar became angry. He came and saw what's written. And instead of punishing the boy, he took the boy into his house and he gave him a gift and patted the boy and said, "Thank you. I am very happy with you," he said. Can any of you guess what this boy must have written on the wall? Anybody? Any sentence? Vivek, what did he write? Any sentence? Any sentence praising him. Okay, okay. Anybody else want to try? Like Vivek said one answer now. Anybody else? Yes, Pawan, what was it?
Not spoil the wall.
No, do not spoil the wall. Okay, okay. Very close to what you said, both of you said. What he wrote was, do not write on the wall. That's all he wrote. Do not write on this wall. Do not write anything on this wall. That's all he wrote. Now the Zamindar was so happy seeing that, he told his watchman, now write the same thing on the other two walls also, he said. Do not write on this wall. Do not write on this wall. They wrote like that. And Zamindar said, now that we have written, do not write on the wall, I don't think anybody will write. So it has reduced the work of the watchman going round and round also. He said he was very happy. Now, thank you, both of you. Now, just as the boy fulfilled the criteria of the Jamindar, Jamindar said, if anybody writes, they will be punished. But if somebody writes something in alignment with the Jamindar, then he is given gift. In the same manner, in this world, God has enacted a law that if somebody breaks the regulative principles, for example, if somebody does illicit connections between man and woman, or if somebody is eating meat or drinking wine, smoking cigarette, taking drugs, or somebody is doing gambling, these are all activities which are called prohibited activities. We call it gimme, gimme. Gimme means gambling, illicit sex, meat eating, intoxication. So they are prohibited. At the same time, it's not that you can't do any activity. One shouldn't eat meat, but one can eat vegetarian food offered to Krishna. One shouldn't drink liquor, but one can drink milk. There's no problem with that. One shouldn't smoke a cigarette, but one can show agarbatti to the Lord. No problem. Both are releasing smoke. One is a nasty smoke, one is divine smoke. In this way, you will see that a devotee of the Lord learns what activities are permissible and what activities are prohibited. And working in alignment with them, we can very easily please the Lord. And you can live a normal life. You don't have to go to Himalayas. You don't have to give up your profession. You don't have to become a renunciate. You can be a boy, you can be a girl, you can be a child, you can be old man, anybody. In any walk of life, in your own situation, stay in your situation and connect all your activities to God, like you're working in a company. In the lunchtime, share some of this knowledge with your colleagues. You will do a great service by that. Like Janmashtami is coming, come to the temple with your family and friends, and also bring your friends and introduce them to God and tell them, align your life with God by reading a page of Gita every day. In this way, Gita teaches a very smooth, easy way of life to live in alignment with the Lord. And then we are actually preparing ourselves to return back to the original home from where we have come. This is the beginning, actually. And anything we do, if we do with the Lord in the center, and also increase our understanding about who God is and why He created this world, and all those questions will be answered when I read the Gita. So now, one verse I wanted to show you today for the third one. You can see this one, the third one. The material world is not all in all. There is a spiritual world beyond. I want to say 5 minutes on this third one. Material world is not all in all. Spiritual world exists. So I will tell you a quick short story. You can answer my question after that. Once upon a time, a queen, along with her friends, went to a pond to take a bath. And she kept her necklace and bangles and ankle belts and jeweled belt, everything, she kept it in the bank of the river. And she went inside the water and she was splashing water and playing with her friends. And they spent half an hour or so. After that, they all came out, and when she was dressing herself, and then she looked at the ornaments and she was shocked because the necklace was missing. Huh? And she asked her friends, and nobody could find out where it was. She went back to the king and cried. She said, I lost my necklace. It was a very important one for me. King said, don't worry, I'll get you another one. Although it's 10 lakh rupees worth, costly. King said, don't mind, I'll get you another one. But then she said, I want that necklace only. Because it was given by my friend to me. She will ask me, where is the one which I gave you? So she was lamenting. King said, okay, let me find out. So he told the ministers to play the kettle drums and make an announcement. Anybody who gets me that necklace you will get 10 lakh rupees. Necklace was 10 lakh and the king was ready to give a prize of 10 lakhs. So the king wanted to figure out if there is any thief, he took it, maybe he'll come and give it back and take 10 lakhs gift and go. So all the people started frantically searching for it here and there. And one man, in the frontiers of the village, there was a lake surrounded by a lot of trees all around. That fellow was hovering there since morning to evening. One sage found him. And the sage told him, hey, my dear man, I saw you in the morning, I'm seeing you in the evening, you are hovering on this road. I think you look like you are in anxiety. Can I help you? The man said, yes, sir, I need help, but I'm a little worried. If you offer me the help, you promise me that you will not ask for any share. And the sage said, what share? The man said, if I get one thing, I'm going to get 10 lakh rupees. But you should not ask a single penny from me. If you promise me, then I will tell you. Sage said, I don't need any money. I'm already happy. Tell me, how can I help you? The man called the sage and said, see, right here in the water, the queen's necklace is lying. But when I put my hand and try to pick it up, I'm not able to pick it. Only stones are coming in my hand. The necklace is not coming. I tried several times, sir, morning to evening, I'm not able to get it. And the sage looked at it and he laughed and said, I will give this necklace to you in 1 minute. And immediately the sage could give him in 1 minute. Can you guess how? Can any of you tell me what trick the sage did by which he could give the necklace in 1 minute to the man? Anybody? Sujit, what was it? Sujit Kumar, what was your answer? The sage? Ah, that was only reflection of the necklace. Yeah, where was the necklace? Very good. Brilliant. The necklace was actually taken away by a crow, which dropped it on a tree branch, and it was hanging in the branch, and reflection was seen in the water. So the man was only seeing the reflection. But when the sage saw the reflection, he understood. This is only reflection. He went and climbed up the tree and picked up this thing, necklace, and came and gave it. And the man was very happy to see that. Then he thanked the sage, was about to leave. The sage said, but I want you to give me some time. I don't want money from you. Just give me some time. I want to explain to you something. He made the man sit. And he told the man, my dear man, just as you were searching for the necklace in the water, foolishly, in the same manner, everybody in this world is running here and there for happiness. In this world, people are attracted by somebody's beauty, somebody's wealth, somebody's knowledge, somebody's fame, somebody's renunciation. They are attracted to something in this world. People are attracted to many heroes and heroines, but the heroes become zeros for a period of time. Where are the old cinema heroes? They are all gone. Where are the great sports stars? When my college days, Sunil Gavaskar was a top star. Kapil Dev and Sunil Gavaskar. Now they are just commentators now. So big heroes become zeros because people with clean faces get wrinkled faces. People with jet black hair get white hair. People with all 32 teeth, they lose one out, two out, all out. So in this world, everybody, the old order changes, yielding place to new, as we say. So this world is a temporary place. And the pleasures you get in this world are like reflection. They're nakli, not asali. If you want asali happiness, that is in spiritual plane. Material world, you get nakli. Just like you have real gold and rolled gold. You have real marble and you have imitation marble sheet. You have. Similarly, you have real currency note, you have fake currency note. In the same manner, the real spiritual beauty is in spiritual body, in the spiritual world. Lord and his devotees are all supremely beautiful. But what you see in the material world is only temporary beauty, temporary pleasures. So instead of chasing after these pleasures, one should learn the art of preparing one's consciousness to elevate it to go back to spiritual world where one can enjoy everlasting happiness forever. That the sage taught him. So in the Bhagavad Gita, uh, uh, 15th chapter, Lord Krishna says here, I will just show you that verse. With that we will conclude. 15.6, just 1 minute, I'll show you the verse. I can see this verse. All of you can repeat this. Na tad bhasayate suryo na shashanko na pavakaha yat gatva na nivartante tadhama paramam mama. So Lord Krishna says here, that supreme abode of mine is not illumined by sun or moon or fire or electricity. Those who reach it never return to the material world, he says. So here, you can read, any of you? One of you can read this, please. Purport? Yeah, one of you.
Spiritual world, spiritual world of being spiritual are all people teaching the sign
Yeah.
if should keep appearing entity in our being makes the shift in the experience of the experience. Then there is no entity with power for any state. Keep the same then return to it and put it once you begin creating is is who is very but still how the much will take it wish that
Yeah. So you all understand now, huh? You got an idea now. So any questions? Yeah, on today's session? So today, towards the end, I told you a story about reflection, which means the real world is spiritual world, material world is like a reflection. Real world is like tree with my real mango, and here there is a imitation mango, reflection mango in the water. That's one thing you learned today. Another thing I told you, if you remember, I showed you the dog's video and the video of the child to show you how the impressions in our mind take us to good body or bad body. That you learned also. And you learned about certain things you can choose in your life. You can choose your job, you can choose your, apartment, Yeah, you can choose your course, branch and all, but you cannot choose your face cut or your parents or your IQ. These are all a gift of God based on your previous life actions. So that's one thing you learned also today. I showed you the disparity in this world, rich and poor and handsome and ugly and all that. I showed you. Huh? Then I told you about the air carrying aromas. That verse we read also, about how similarly our mind carries our impressions based on our actions. And one more thing I showed you in the slideshow is how a lusty person becomes a dog and how a envious person becomes a snake. So our mentalities create the body and the destiny. Huh? So you learn many things about how first there is a desire in the mind, then you make a blueprint of that, and eventually the building comes. Similarly, from your thought to word to deed to habits and character and finally destiny. Hmm? So now you all are learning the subject well. Body, mind, soul. You know the holistic welfare. Narada was having spiritual body. Like that, every one of you, you can have a spiritual body, which is tenacious body, which will never perish, which can never be killed by anybody. Eternally, you can be happy like Narada. So, and I told you the ABC formula. A for weekly once, at least 1 hour association. B for one page Bhagavad Gita daily. And C for one round chanting daily. Thank you. Any questions, any of you wish to ask me? I'm sorry for delaying it. Yes, Pratyush, go ahead.
So, sir,
Yeah,
body was state body, which it takes.
correct.
If it were
Actually, when in this world anybody dies, at the time of death, they get a preta body, they call it. The preta body is subtler than gross body and grosser than the subtle body. That's a preta body, which even our grandfather, father, somebody when they pass out of the body, like I did for my father in 2017, he passed away. So when I did the kriyas, they told me on the 12th day. So on the 12 days, the soul hovers in the same house where he lived. And then 13th day, he leaves the place. At the time, he's awarded one body in which the soul is carried with the mind. The soul and the mind are carried by a preta body to either hell or to heaven and other places. And then they'll be given a body there. In the heaven also, one will have ethereal body in the heaven. It's a very fine body, unlike the gross body that we have in this planet. The ethereal body is so good, people can fly from one place to another. They can do many things with that body. They can disappear in one place, reappear in another place and all. But the spiritual body means you only are the soul. You don't need a extraneous mind or the body and all. You don't need. The soul itself is the body. It is spiritual body in the spiritual world. So when Yudhishthira Maharaj is going to heaven, he'll be given a certain type of heavenly body, ethereal body, by which he can be transported to heaven. Is that clear? Is that clear? Yeah, Pradesh.
now it is speech. He has some he got this sometimes
Yeah,
how you
yeah,
mind that think that
correct. The reason is because what happens, Pratyush? There was one Brahmana called Ajamila. In the sixth canto of Bhagavatam we read. This Ajamila was a good boy. He was born in a Brahmin family in a place called Kanauj, close to Kanpur, Kanapur. So morning he would get up, he would do Sandhya Vandan 3 times a day, and he would bow down to Father, bow down to Vishnu deity. So he was like a ritualistic Brahman. He was not very knowledgeable about soul and spiritual world and all that. He was ritualistically doing everything. But one day when he went to forest and he saw a low-class man and woman embracing and doing some dirty activity, he got polluted. Then he came home and his mind was very disturbed. So much so that he drove away his father and mother, drove away his chaste wife, and brought that prostitute to his house. And through her, he begot 10 sons in her womb. And he became an old man. When he was about to die, he was actually about to be taken to hell by the Yamadutas. But at that time, because he loudly called the last son's name, Narayana, like that he called. Immediately, Lord Vishnu sent his messengers. So the Vishnu's messengers, Vishnu Dutas came, Yamadutas came, they both had a debate. Because he had called Vishnu's name, now Vishnu's servants told that now he is not in Yamaraja's custody anymore. So they educated him in chanting of the holy name, and then they gave him a second chance. And then he went from Kanpur to Haridwar. 12 years he stayed there in a Vishnu temple and took bath in Ganga, chanted the holy name, studied Bhagavatam, ate only prasad, worshipped the deity. And then after 12 years, again the same Vishnu Tas came and took him back to the spiritual world. That means here also, as you said, he was a good person, Brahman, but then he got misled by bad association. But again he came back to good association. And again he could perfect his life. Similarly, if any boy comes from a good family, but then when he came to college, he got little spoiled by his friends. He has a second chance to again, roll up your sleeves and get back to a pure lifestyle. It's possible for you. We come back by good association. Therefore, association, activity, attitude. 3 A's. By association, your activity. Like today you came, your activity is now to contemplate on the message of the Gita and ask questions. If you went to a movie, your activities will be different. So depending on what association you choose, you do your activity. And that activity either elevates your attitude or degrades your attitude. So these 3 A's happen one after another. Is that clear, Pratyush? Thank you, thank you. And here, there is a couple of questions. Siddhant has asked a brilliant question here. The chanting clears off bad karma. Yes, Siddhant, you are right. Aham tvam sarva papyebhyo mokshayishyami. Krishna says, when you chant my names and become a devotee, then I will clear away your past bad karma, he says. And we always talk of getting enlightened and achieving moksha. Is there anything that we as a student can do at least to get on that path? So I told you a very simple thing, ABC. Association, Bhagavad Gita 1 page, and chanting 1 round. You begin with this as a student and also make a balance between your spirituality and academics. Morning for Krishna, evening for studies, we say. So take out some time to do this 3 ABC in the morning, I told you. And then evening you do your studies well. Even Arjuna was told, you're a warrior, do the work of fighting. At the same time, be a devotee also. You are a devotee fighter. Similarly, you can be a student and a devotee also. And when Devesh is asking, when Krishna created the world, we all were pure souls. Then how all these impurities come in the world of Krishna? In the world of Krishna, there is no impurity. See, God has given you free will, either to look towards Him or look away from Him. Because without free will, there is no love. Love implies freedom. For example, if a boy loves a girl, but girl doesn't want to marry the boy, he can't force the girl to marry, isn't it? You can't tell the girl, you don't want to marry me, I'll go to your father and forcibly get married to you. You can't say that. That won't come out well. In the same manner, Krishna doesn't want to force us. When you look at him, when you look at the sun, there is no shadow. When you look away from the sun, you see the shadow. Similarly, when you turn away from God, then all the impurities in this world come. Otherwise, in the spiritual world, there is no impurity. I appreciate you all for your brilliant questions. Thank you. Anybody else has one last question? So today you learned a little bit about spiritual world, but I was also revising the previous sessions. So it took me a while to do that. But in the next Sunday, we will do the concluding part of this session, Gita in 4 Sutras. Okay? So thank you all for your enthusiasm. And if you have any further questions, our Harshit has given you a Google link where you can put your questions. And if you don't have a copy of Bhagavad Gita as it is, Harshit is ready to send you a copy. You just have to make a request to him in that Google link. He will send you. Yes. There's a question? Shiva. No, here there's no question here. In the chat, I didn't find any. And it is getting late for them also. Thank you all for your... Harshit, you want to make an announcement? Harshit? Actually, I believe they know the Google link, I believe, huh? So, you... Yeah, you have put the Google link for them?
For the session, we have put the
So, if they want to send any questions, where will they send?
they can actually contact
Yeah, you can do that. And they can contact you and then I can answer further questions, okay? Thank you all very much. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Thank you.